Okay, quick video today. We're going to be putting on Gyeon CanCoat, and I'll explain why while we're installing it. But this is designed to be a simple product. My natural tendency was to grab a little microfiber applicator and start doing little circles, but you're supposed to put this on with a towel. I got some directions from Jeff from Gyeon, and then I got some instruction from my friend Bradley Nielsen at Naples Auto Armor on how to do this and whether I could layer it or put a couple of coats on. But it really is pretty simple. I already did the rear bumper, which is going to be replaced, so I practiced on that. But the concept here is you want to get the product on, but don't think about it like a coating. Like you don't need to put a big, thick, heavy layer of product. In fact, most of it, other than the initial touch of the towel, you really can't even see it going on the car. And so all you do is take a towel, fold it in quarters, spray away from the car, take a couple of sprays, 2, maybe 3 at the most. I've already cleaned this thoroughly with CarPro Eraser, and I'm going to do little circles like this, and I'm going to apply the product as evenly as possible, but I want to stay small. I want to stay in like a shoulder width area. That was Jeff's suggestion. And then I'm going to come back with a follow towel and wipe off the excess. You're good on glass, you're good on trim, you're good on plastic, rubber, really doesn't matter. You're good everywhere. And you don't have to, I found that I don't have to rush it, but you don't want to do like half the car and then come back and have a bunch of high spots that are stuck. And so this is a true silicon dioxide based, quick application type product. But you want to make sure you're checking with your light, make sure I don't end up with any extra on other panels while I'm applying. So again, away from the car, a couple of sprays. I'm going to apply in a circular fashion like this. Let's stay organized. And so the reason I'm doing this rather than coating the car is because I'm not sure if the water spots are going to be gone. And so I just don't want to go through the process of putting on a multi-year coating and being stuck with it and having to compound it off. Whereas this should be much more easily removed. Now, I've gotten lots of comments. What I'd mentioned that I was going to do this and hopefully hope to get 6 months out of it. You know, pretty much everyone has told me this is like a year plus long lasting product. But I can tell you right now, other than the ease of application, there's no slickness to it, there's no depth, there's no clarity, there's no change in the way the paint looks. So to me, I don't know, it just doesn't do anything for me. For what I understand, it's really good with water behavior, and that's why a lot of people like it. And it's going to be simple to apply. I'm just not getting any, like literally it's almost impossible to tell it's on the car unless I went and grabbed some water and threw it on the surface. And so all I'm going to do is do a couple of coats of this to buy me a few months prior to me doing a true coating on the car. So we'll see, you know, when it starts failing or starts, you know, when I start getting embedded contaminants, then that'll be my cue to do a quick, hopefully just a quick finishing polish, and then, you know, an application of a, you know, true coating to the surface. After I know that after the paint has had a few heat cycles out in the sun, that the water spots don't come back. Because I had the car looking this good before, and then all those spots came back once the paint had settled. Oh, I also forgot to mention that I did do a thorough cleaning wipe down with CarPro Eraser prior to this. so that way I get a good bond and I don't have residual polish oils left over on the surface. I don't want to get greedy, but I'm going to finish this all the way down to the edge here. The back of the car is already done. I'm not sure why I started on the sides. I already had the car up in the air. And I just want to wipe off any excess on any adjacent panels. So I already have woofs on the glass, which I didn't polish the glass. I will rarely polish the glass other than the first time I detail the car, like on a car when I first get it. So I generally don't need to polish it again. And so all I'll do here with this is grab some eraser, a couple of towels, prep it. So again, the layer of woofs on this is already still pretty good. Make sure I don't eraser off my newly applied product. Yeah, so you should be using your eraser before. Don't do it like I'm doing it. But you can use this product on windows as well. Same story though. Take my towel, right away from the car. 3 squirts, 2 or 3 squirts is all you need. And apply it. It's probably hard to pick up on camera, but it kind of levels out. When you first put the towel down, you'll see a little bit of the product. But again, it's very clear to me after listening to Bradley and Jeff, you're not looking for that typical, resin, big, thick coating layer. We're applying it to the surface. This reminds me more of like a glass sealant. You're really just trying to fill in the gaps, fill in the holes, so that there's less surface tension. And so that's why something like this is the true silicon dioxide based or SiO2 based. It's almost like just a quick coating or more advanced sealant. Again, we're going to get lots of water behavior, but I wonder how much chemical resistance we're going to get with something like this outside of just really good water beading. But I just need something to hold me over while I'm determining whether or not I'm ready to coat the car. And so I think it works out well. This is kind of what I was looking for this application. But even like using this towel, again, my towel is not super loaded up with product, so it kind of levels itself out before I even grab my second towel. This is just an interior towel, an 80/20 320 GSM towel that I'm using to just wipe off any excess. That's all I'm really doing here. And then what I plan to do is I'm going to just go over the car twice, and then that'll be the process. So let's go. Let me put the car down a little bit. Let's do the fender. Probably better practice to eraser wipe down the whole car. I just don't know. I don't know how much time. I didn't know how much time I was going to have to do this. So I wanted to just do it one panel at a time, because I don't want to apply anything with dust and dirt all over the place.
Say, don't do the bumper because you have to wipe that still.
I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's like there's like you can't really even tell you're putting anything on the car. So that's a little bit disappointing here, in that there's no look. There's no benefit. It doesn't look any different. This reminds me a lot of Sonex polymer net shield when that was popular, when Phil from Detailer's Domain had everybody using that product back in like 2010, which was a polymer sealant. And it had really great water behavior. Didn't do very well with pollen. As soon as pollen got on it, it neutralized it. But the big difference was that was super slick, or this is not. But it didn't give you really any benefit from a look perspective. Same thing here with this. I'm using the lights in the room here to see any overage, any eye spots. Interesting product though. Trying to see. I wouldn't say it's tacky, but it's certainly not slick. And you guys know how much I love slick. But we'll reserve judgment after I've cycled it through and used it for a while. I think you guys get the gist of this. Let's do a little bit of a shot on the hood, and then again, I'm gonna go all the way around the car, do all the windows, do everything, all the trim, all the windows, all of that stuff. And then I'll clean up the jams, come back, do the door jams, and then go back and do it a second coat. Again, this is CarPro Eraser. So if I find that the water spots and mineral etching doesn't come back on me here once the car gets outside, then I'll probably do a quick light decon 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months from now, and then follow with traditional coating. We'll follow with that G-Technic CSL XO combo. Do a little overlap from where I got before. I wonder if he worked with it more. I wonder how big I could go section-wise. I'm finding that just this towel alone, the initial application is leveling it all out. I have a bad feeling all these water spots are going to come back. See that initial overage of product, if you will? That's what I would have. I'm glad that Jeff told me this beforehand, because by the time we get done with our series of wiping here, the product pretty much levels out with my initial towel. So you don't want some big heavy oil slick on the surface that you're waiting to flash. But I think this is probably going to take, I don't know, I'd say this will probably take 50% less time than putting a traditional coating on. Put 2 coats of it. I mean, literally not one shred of a difference in look, right? I mean, it looks identical to just the polished car. You put a wax or a coating and you gain something. I don't really know about a cure time between coats. I would think I can just put it on and put a second coat on right away. I don't think it says anything on the bottle. That's something I'll have to inquire about. Maybe someone could put that in the comments who has a lot of experience with this product. So that's the CanCoat process. I'll be sure to update you with how it does, what it looks like, how the water spots have done. We had a couple of dents, 4 or 5 different dents in the car. that Michael Good from the Dent Company came up and removed. So if you haven't watched that video yet, go check that one out. But the M3 is looking pretty good. I'm gonna feel a lot better having this dialed back in. I'll feel best once I get my final coating on it. But I was really interested to test this product, see how much I like it, see how it plays with the bead maker and some other products, and see how it does on the windows. And I'll be sure to update you on how it does. So anyway, that's a wrap for this video. Thanks for watching. As always, stay tuned for more crazy, lots more product testing going on as time goes on. Catch you on the next one.